You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to another edition of your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Wrong show, but I'm wearing the shirt, baby. We are just a week away from the Miami Hurricanes opening the season at the Swamp in Gainesville, and we'll have the Locked On Canes postcast right here for you, as well as the Locked On Dolphins postcast against the Buccaneers on Friday night, which would be in 2 nights, as they play their final preseason game, getting ready for the opener on September 8th against Buffalo, and against Jacksonville, rather. And then Thursday night, the Buffalo Bills come in right after that. So Kyle, of course, Alex, and myself, Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Canes, postcast, bang, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Let's go. Speaking of this, right now, it's your Locked On Marlins postcast, and the Marlins lost again, swept by the Diamondbacks. It was actually 10-8 the final. Does anybody really care? I'll change it if you want, but so close and yet so far. That's their theme song. It's 1,000 years old, but it fits, right? I love what they said on the radio, and I always forget the dude's name. He's a great play-by-play guy. I can't remember. I'm not going to say the wrong name. Say my name. So he said, the Marlins are a team without an identity. They don't really have a style. It's a revolving door, in and out with players, but they always somehow manage to have the tying run at the plate. And they did that tonight. They actually had the potential winning run at the plate tonight against the Diamondbacks, who scored 7 runs as of the final 9 runs in the game, outscored the Marlins 7-2, including that run that the Marlins got in the bottom of the 9th, and they win this thing 10-8. Berger and Pache home runs for Miami. No relief, nothing for the Marlins tonight in back of Roddery Muñoz. It wasn't any good anyway. He didn't really deserve it. So it was just bad all the way across the board for the pitchers. They get crushed again. Arizona, the hottest team in baseball since July 1st, wins another game. I said July 1st. I meant July 1st. And then Josh Bell comes back for time. What did he score? 4 runs or had 4 RBIs or something? Josh Bell, no. On base 4 times. Sorry. 1 hit, 1 RBI, 1 run scored for Josh Bell. But, man, they had a couple more home runs, McCarthy and Perdomo, and you know what I'm saying? And then Herrera hits a triple, an RBI triple. The Diamondbacks just murder into baseball right now. You are watching and listening to your Locked On Marlins postcast, making it your first listen every day. Thank you very much. Gracias. Yes, we are free and available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, just today, our show is brought to you by Prize Picks. You know this, man. Prize Picks is dope. The easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Use the code, all lowercase, by the way, BT Dubs, Locked On MLB, for a first deposit match up to $100. $100 with Prize Picks. There you go. All right, so 10-8 the final. We're here for the grand finale, right? Oh, the Diamondbacks just putting it on the Marlins tonight, man. They scored 1 in the first. Marlins came back and scored 2. It's 2-1. You're feeling good, and that wasn't bad, right? And then all of a sudden, things just get worse. So Arizona, 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 4 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. They scored 7 runs in the last 3 innings of this game. Marlins only had 2 in those innings. It was 6-3 at one point. The Marlins had a 4-run 4th. Diamondbacks had a 4-run 7th. Marlins had a 2-run 1st. Diamondbacks had a 2-run 3rd. Marlins had a 4-run 4th. Diamondbacks had a 4-run 7th. D-backs had a 1-run 8th. So did the Marlins. They had a 2-run 9th. The Marlins had a 1-run 9th. The 1 run in the first for the D-backs as well. First inning, Roddery Muñoz, the 4-seamer at 93, 94. Looking all right so far. Didn't throw a sinker. Had a slider that was going pretty well tonight, but he just wasn't, he had the cutter going, but it just wasn't the night for his sinker and his changeup, his out pitch, and his changeup just wasn't biting like it normally does tonight. But, the Diamondbacks just putting it on them, man. They've been killing everybody lately. A sacrifice fly in the first, but a single, a fielder's choice, another single, a walk, a sac fly. Then the Marlins come up, Berger homers again, 25 for Jake. He's been killing it since July 1st. He didn't have a real good series, but he homers tonight. Edwards scores. It's 2-1 Miami. Arizona comes back to take a 3-2 lead on a 2-run homer from McCarthy. Scored Perdomo in the third. And the Marlins got crazy in the fourth, scoring 4 times. Lopez doubling in Norby. Pache with a homer, scoring Lopez. Edwards tripling in Hensley, who had 3 hits. 6-3 Miami. It would stay that way all the way for a while in this game. It almost seemed like a pitcher's duel for a hot minute, and only a hot minute. We'll explain un momento, por favor. But Bell, here he comes, for whom the bell tolls. I saw Metallica live at Arlington a couple years ago. They are unbelievable, even though they're old, but crazy. For whom the bell tolls. Josh Bell, coming home. I'm coming home. Let the pain wash away all the times I put on the Marlins uniform. Or let the rain wash away, I should say. Bell singles to left, Carroll scores, and then Gurriel doubles to center. Grichuk scores, Peterson scored, and Bell scored. The Del Castillo, Gurriel Jr. spot in the lineup, they went 4 for 5 with like 7 RBIs. It was insane for those guys tonight. But Perdomo, not per diem, Perdomo goes deep for the Diamondbacks in the 8th inning. It's 8-6. The Marlins make it 8-7 on a Brujan pinch hit, double scoring Hensley in the 8th. And then the Diamondbacks pour on more. Herrera triples to left field, scoring Newman. Gurriel singles, scoring Herrera. And the Marlins score 1 in the 9th. They get the runners all over the bags, and they score on a wild pitch with the bases loaded. And the winning run at the plate, Martinez, Justin with 2 strikeouts to end it. Stowers and Hensley strikeouts, swinging the last one on a filthy slider, the first one on a splitter. 10-8 D-Bags. And they are the hottest team in baseball right now, man. They are just murdering the ball. They're hitting. Their pitching's on point. And it's good to see them go and the Cubs come in. It's good to see them go and the Cubs come in, because when you're looking at the Cubs, Harry Carey, terrible Harry Carey, but Cubs, us writing here directly filed. So here we go. Where are we at? Yeah, they're 2 games under 500, and they're 6-4 in their last 10. So it's going to be all right. We going to be all right for the Marlins coming into this game. It's going to be fun. The Marlins injury report right now: Bender, 1 run and 1 hit in 2/3 of an inning in his rehab start on Friday. Alcantara still throwing those bullpens. Weathers, we'll see. It's going to be a hot minute. Sanchez, Luzardo, Simpson, Garrett, Myers. Yeah, forget about it, man. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Everything going to be a while. Everything going to be a while. I'm going to just keep sitting here saying this for Kendrick Lamar. All right, but no, seriously, it was a good game tonight for Miami offensively. They did a lot of things on the field tonight, and I literally had everything written in the YouTube description, and then it accidentally got erased, so it was absolutely terrible. And I'm not happy about this at all. So we'll have to redo that at the end of the game. It just takes a little bit more time. Just a little more time. Uh-oh, I almost have to sneeze. But it was absolutely crazy, too. I mean, when you look at the box score of this game, the Diamondbacks use how many? 5 pitchers. The Marlins use 6. Thing about tonight is Roddery Muñoz only went 3 1/3 innings. He gives up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, walks 3, strikes out 3, 73 pitches. The ERA is up near 6. He had a couple of good games. What in the world is going on here? Where does this just come out of nowhere? Good Lord. Sorry, guys. What in the world is going on here? Stop it. It won't let you turn off the ad. Lord. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes it just fires off. But Jake Burger, look at those hands right there. I mean, he's going to have 30 homers again, right? We're going to talk about that on the other side. What to look forward to for the rest of the season, starting with 3-game weekend series with the Cubbies. Plus, you got the Dolphins this week, final preseason game. Next week, Canes opener against the Gators. Chomp the Gators. Get that storm spinning through there. Fly those reptiles around and just scatter them all over the roadways. Victims of the storm coming through. I swear to God, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys hear that or not. I'm about to never go on any of these websites again if they keep popping up on me. But anyway, I'll tell you this. The Marlins always have the tying or winning run at the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Dolphins and Canes are starting football. The Heat basketball right after that. We'll be here at Locked On Sports Miami, as well as, with Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Canes, the postcast. Pete's got the Marlins, Alex the Dolphins, or the Canes rather, Kyle the Dolphins, and I'll have the postcast on all 3. throughout the year. It's absolutely phenomenal, and we're loving every second of it here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, whether it's the Dolphins or the Canes football season, the Marlins or the Heat, in baseball and basketball. We have the best team in the business covering the Miami market, #1 city in America. Incredible franchises, Dolphins and Heat at the top of the pecking order in their leagues. The Marlins, a 2-time world champion in just 30 years. Some teams don't even have one, so we are lucky in the MIA. Yo, Ricky Ross, you know what I'm saying. It's going to be football season, man. I am hyped up. Tua and the Fins, and then Cristobal and the Canes. You're watching Locked On Marlins postcast 10-8. Arizona beats Miami tonight. They sweep the 3-game series. The Marlins just playing out the string here soon. You just don't know what you're going to get. We're going to step aside, come back to him, talk more about Jake Burger and his play in recent months. We're going to try to update the injuries. We're going to give some scores. And the Cubbies coming to town. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. You're watching Locked On Marlins postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. And today, I'm going to tell you about passion. I'm going to tell you about drive. I'm going to tell you about patience. In 30 years of covering sports at the highest levels, I can tell you that the formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. That's right. I'm not talking about your spouse. I'm talking about your whip. eBay Motors got everything you need to maintain your vehicle, level it up to peak performance. And I mean peak performance, baby. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. That's right. With over 122 million parts for your #1 ride or die, you're always going to find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, ready for this? Your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or you get your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Yeah, baby. eBay Motors. That's right. One more thing for you here right now. Hey, it's your tonight. Right now. Come on. Thank you for listening and watching right now. For your second listen, go to Locked On MLB. No, I don't know how or why I just did that, but my brain works differently. Anyway, host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. He's here every day to provide daily expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer and the allergy attacks live on air when you can't do anything about it. But you can prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it covered every day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And there's Burger. Whew. He knows his football season. Come, just bring those thumbs together, Jake. Come on, bro. You're in the city by the bay. Not the one that Journey was singing about and replacing Stephen Perry or Tyler or whoever it is. No, Steve Perry. Anyway, whatever. They all run together after enough years and enough music and all that stuff. But we do know this. The Marlins fight it out every day. Today was not their day yet again. They scratch, they claw, they come up short. 10-8 Diamondbacks. The Marlins out-hit them 14-12. Look, the Diamondbacks won a game in the series when they had 4 hits, but the Marlins issued 6 free passes, walks, and hit 3 batters. Of those 9 batters given free passes, 5 of them scored. 3-1 game yesterday. Marlins, I think, out-hit them again. Diamondbacks today get out-hit 14-12. Look, the Marlins with runners in scoring position were 4 for 17. The Diamondbacks were 5 for 10. There's your game right there. Josh Bell, 1 for 1. Gurriel, 2 for 2. McCarthy, 1 for 1. The homer. How about the Marlins? Edwards, 1 for 3. Hill, 1 for 1, had the RBI double. Lopez, 1 for 2, the RBI double. Pache had a good game, too. I'm literally going to kill someone. Not really. Don't take me seriously. But these pop-ups keep having these. You guys hear this audio? This never happens. I do this every day. I'm pulling up the same website, the same score. I'm not going to say who they are. They're not us. But, man, this is cray-cray. I'm going to tell you this right now. It is absolutely nuts. Jeez Louise, man. They don't have the recap up yet, do they? Nope, not yet. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just as I said that. All right, let's go through that, and then we'll preview the Cubbies, look at the scores, and get on out Get on out. If you play another video, I swear to, you're not playing anything. And you're muted in case you do. Okay, here we go. So much for the mute. It won't let me mute the commercials. Good Lord. Okay, there we go. All right, Gurriel drove in 4 runs. You know that he was a pinch hitter. Came in the 7th inning and drove in 4 runs. Gurriel Jr., Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 4 runs. Go ahead, pinch hit, 3-run double in the 7th inning. The Diamondbacks beat the Marlins 10-8. They rallied. They scored 7 runs in the last 3 innings. Jake McCarthy, Geraldo, Perdomo, homer for the Diamondbacks. They're great cigars, by the way. Tobacco Perdomo, who swept the 3-game series, D-backs, and are a Major League best 31-13. 18 games above 500 since July 1st. That one just hurts. Down 6-3. Arizona scored 4 against Tinoco. Tinoco had his first bad game tonight. Andrew Nardi was bad too, got the loss. Josh Bell coming back, insult to injury, RBI single, made it 6-4. Gurriel clears the bases. Herrera with a run-scoring triple in the 9th. Dylan Floro got the last out in the 6th for the win. He's 5-3. And then, of course, Justin Martinez with the save struck out. It was Stowers, no Powers, and it was Hensley to end the game. Skip Schumacher ejected in the 8th by Gabe Morales. Home plate umpire, he argued the 3rd strike on Edwards, who got a backdoor slider. Looked like a strike to me. Don't know why they were arguing. Berger, 25th homer, 15 since the All-Star break. Marlins have lost 6 out of 7 and dropped to an NL worst, 46-81. The Marlins had a 4-1 fourth against Jordan Montgomery. Lopez with a double. Pache, a 2-run homer. Edwards, a triple. Montgomery, 6 runs, 10 hits over 5 2/3 inning. Muñoz to give up 2-run shots to McCarthy. 3 runs, 5 hits, 3 1/3 innings for Roddery. Berger drove in 2 runs. And the Marlins have not announced a starter for the opener of the 3-game series against the... Yeah, nothing on the injured list, man. None of these pitchers coming back. Arizona right there neck and neck with San Diego, 3.5 back, man. Both at 72 and 56 behind the Dodgers at 75 and 52. This race is crazy. Crazy. Going up the rails on a crazy train in a crazy race. Yeah, man. 10-8. Arizona Diamondbacks win. The Marlins fall to 46-81, 24-42 at home. D-backs 72 and 56, 35 and 30 away. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. I am Jim Grieshaber, University of Miami alum. Call me Grease. Ready for the football season. Hosting the Locked On Marlins postcast. First game, August 31st, my grandmother's birthday. Love you, Graham. Thank you for everything. Can't wait to do that show on that day right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Then the Dolphins this coming Friday. Wrapping up the preseason against Tampa Bay. And that's on the road. And then the bye week, not the bye week, the off week. And then they open up against the Jags. Then the Bills. In 5 days, they have 2 games to open the season on the 8th and the 12th. Cannot wait for those. Myself and Kyle on the Dolphins, myself and Alex on the Canes. Best football coverage maybe on the network, maybe in the world, maybe ever in the history of pigskin. Yes, I said it. You're going to doubt a man in a U shirt going like this? Because this is exactly what I wore, doing exactly this on the last game ever at the Orange Bowl. I was on the field that night. I was in the stands that night with my 2 young children. My daughter was an infant, and they were at the last game ever played in the OB. That's how deep we rolled the University of Miami class of 96. I was there with The Rock, Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp. What? You're watching Locked On Marlins postcast right now. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Going to take a break, come back, talk about the hobbies and the schedule the rest of the way. On the Locked On Podcast Network, Locked On Marlins postcast, your team every day. And I am going to tell you about Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps with Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings just come flying in. They're not even rolling. They're flying in. They're being dropped in. They're being parachuted, dumped out of planes everywhere. It's just flying all over the place because once you get in on the daily action with your friends, you become a part of the Prize Picks community. It is on, baby. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks, the same number of quarters in a football game or dollar, however you choose to see it. You can turn $10 into $1,000. Sign up today. You're going to get $50 instantly when you play 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed, just like every time Caleb Williams, the Great Bears rookie quarterback, passes for 1 yard. Gets you one win on Prize Picks every week in September. Tyreek Hill, more than 90.5 yards in week 1 against the Jags. Are you kidding me? Yeah, there you go. Get on Prize Picks and make it happen. More or less, baby. More or less. Even season stats. Patrick Mahomes, 4,300, more or less, for yards thrown for. How about CJ Stroud, sophomore season? We throw for more or less than 4,150 yards in Houston. Prize Picks available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Oh, Georgia. Download the Prize Picks apps today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. Dun, 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 dun. Locked On Canes postcast coming August 31st. Dolphins regular season going to start on the 8th of September. But before then, this coming Friday, Locked On Dolphins postcast when they wrap up the preseason. I keep saying preseason against the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay on Friday night. And I'm clapping. It has to be because of football season, because I get to work with Kyle Krabs, Locked On Dolphins host, and I get to work with Alex Donald, Locked On Canes host, and I get to host the postcast for both shows, taking you inside the storylines of every game and each team throughout the season. I'll be making appearances on both those shows. It will be litty like downtown Miami City. That's right. I said it. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, wrapping it up on your Wednesday, hump day. Ain't nobody. Never mind. But what I'm saying is 10-8 Diamondbacks. And the Padres have Luis Ariz at the plate right now. Maybe a little bonus. Manny Machado hit a game-tying 2-run home run. We're going to give you the scores on the at the end of the show, or toward the end of the segment. And we got one more piece of business to take care of. But as we continue, as we proceed to give you what you need, 9-5, you know what I'm saying? So Diamondbacks scored 7 of the last 9 runs of the game, 7 runs from the 7th inning on. They smoked the ball all weekend. Otto Lopez in the 9th inning, and all those guys, Stowers and Hensley, had their shots, and they could not get that tying run in, or the winning run even. They had the winning run at the plate. And that's been the story of the season. No identity, no style, revolving door, but they always find a way to get the tying run to the plate, even though they are almost 35 games under 500. They are 35 games under 500. 500. This is not good. Just so you know, it is just really not good. Let's take a peek here at the standings, and then we'll hit the scoreboard. Looking at the Cubbies, too, real quick before we bounce on out. Eeks. How are the Marlins doing in comparison to the Rockies? Dang, the Rockies are 4-6 in their last 10. The Marlins are 3-7. So the Rockies are only a game back of the Marlins, 47-80. The Marlins 46-81. That's for the worst record in the National League. The White Sox got it locked. They're locked on last. Maybe that's a show for the White Sox. How about that? Hey, David Locke. Hey, Tom Lee. Hey, everybody. How about locked on last place? Locked on last place. How about that for the White Sox? Locked on last, 31-90. So they're going to have 100 losses before the end of August. Good Lord. That team's going to lose 120 games. They might be one of the most historically bad teams in the history of Major League Baseball. That's right. I said it. We got the Cubbies coming in this weekend. Let's talk about them. Un momento, por favor. You got the Cubbies coming in on Friday. You got no job. You got nothing to do. I love this. This is so much fun. So the Cubbies coming in. The Cubbies playing Detroit right now. They play them again tomorrow. I love you tomorrow. It'll be Hendricks and Meyer, by the way. So Hendricks and Meyer will be the pitchers. Max Meyer will be the Marlins pitcher on Friday. 6 feet, 196 pounds, 3-3 with a 5.58, former number 3 pick in the draft by the Marlins in 2020. Needs to step it up, to say the least. He's on an innings restriction. Hasn't been a good year for him, to say the least. And then Hendricks for the Tigers. Kyle Hendricks, 3-10 with a 6.35. I mean, for the Cubs, they're playing the Tigers right now. Kyle Hendricks, 3-10 with a 6.35 ERA. This just in, that is not good. Marlins might be able to rip on him a little bit. Let's see what we got here. The Cubbies coming in. Let's look at that game. See if they have odds and numbers up yet. I've been holding off a sneeze the whole show. It has not been easy. I just want you to know your boy here looking out for you. Well, Ian Happ's having a good year for the coach. So is Belly Bells, Cody Bellinger's father, not him, Cody, actually. Jake Berger, 25 dingers, 57 ribbies, and that 249 average leading the way for Miami. Of course, Edwards doesn't have enough ABs to qualify to be a league leader. And there you'll have it. Your Locked On Marlins postcast. And you know what? The interesting thing about this game was they get the winning run to the plate in the ninth. You got Stowers, and then you had Hensley. Hensley had 3 hits in the game already. You had your shots. You had your chances. All they needed was one big hit in one spot there, tie game or the win. Didn't get it. Moving right along to the Cubs this weekend, and we will be here every step of the way, every game, with your Locked On Marlins postcast all the way through to the bitter end. We see things through. We're the kind of people, we stay in a marriage forever. We die miserable, but we're here till the end, and that's what we will be with your Locked On Marlins postcast. These Grays might all be pulled in by then, but you know what? We got football this Friday, the last preseason game for the Miami Dolphins. Locked On Dolphins postcast right after the game. Up till then and every day, you're Locked On Dolphins and that's a podcast with Kyle Krabs. Amazing, one of the best in the business. Locked On Canes with Alex Dono every day. He's the network post-game host on the radio network for the University of Miami. We have him doing Locked On Canes every day. I work at ESPN, and I'm here doing this with the postcast with the Canes and the Dolphins. Between myself and Kyle and Alex, you will be informed. You will be, are you not entertained? You'll be entertained all football season long. I think that triangle, man, Kyle, Alex, every day, as you guys know this, these guys bring it every day. Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Canes, and then me with the postcast, bang, boom. But we're not done with the Marlins. We got the rest of the year too, with myself doing the postcast and Peter with the Locked On Marlins show. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Your Locked On Marlins postcast on your Wednesday. 10-8 Diamondbacks, the final. The Cubbies coming in on Friday. And you know what? It was another game in which the Marlins got the tying run to the plate in spite of allowing 7 runs in the last 3 innings. They had a 4-run inning in this game. Berger homered, Pache homered. Some really positive things, but the bullpen was atrocious. Tinoco, his first bad outing, his first runs allowed as a Marlin. Fauché was terrible. Tinoco and Fauché have been lights out. They were awful tonight, and that happens every once in a while. Schumacher, Skip ejected, calling balls and strikes, and I'd get kicked out every game if I were him from the rest of the year in the first inning. How about that, Skip? There's my best advice. Get kicked out in the top of the first of every single game for the rest of the year so you don't have to watch this anymore. And I don't mean this, the Locked On Marlins postcast. I wish Skip's watching this because it would really help him do his job. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. I love Skip Schumacher. He's dope. He's a great manager with some of the talent that they could be bringing back next year. The pitching staff in general, rotation, the bullpen, this team could be pretty good. And you just got a dose of my view through the most rosy-colored glasses in all of baseball. But that's me. That's me, baby. Matches the color of my skin right now. My sunburn has been so hot lately. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Thank you so much for being here day by day. We love you on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On Marlins postcast. We got the Dolphins on Friday and the Cubs coming into town as well the whole weekend right here. Locked On Podcast Network with the Miami Marlins, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen, your first watch. Now, go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. That's right. Prepare for the fall classic with Sully. Allergy attack, the whole show. Sorry. Who has it covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. That's right. The easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports is Prize Picks. Over 5 million members. Can't be wrong. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use the code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100 on Prize Picks, baby. And we are Audi 5,000. That's right. I said it. Audi 5,000. And we will be back. Friday with another edition of Locked On Marlins Postcast plus the Dolphins, man. That's going to be dope. Great weekend coming your way on the Locked On Sports Miami channel, wherever you get your podcast, and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. I am out. Let's go.